Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for June week 4. I forgot my parent cue at home, so we're just going to use the leader guide here. So our Bible story from this week is called They Didn't Start the Fire, and it's all about Elijah and the prophets of Baal, where Elijah was trying to prove to the people that his God was the one true God. So both the prophets of Baal and Elijah made an altar, and they said, whoever's God sends fire down is the one true God. Well, Elijah doused his altar in water, and still God sent fire from heaven, and the prophets of Baal chanted all day, and they never got any fire. So people knew that Elijah's God was the one true God. So the bottom line for this week is God can do the impossible, and we're still in the life app of confidence, living like you believe what God says is true. So our memory verse for this month is, here is something I am sure of, or here is something I am confident of. I will see the Lord's goodness while I am still alive. Psalm 27:13. So like always, when you come at 8:30 and 10:30, please just take a couple minutes to pray for your kids that you're going to be serving today. Pray for kids that are going through tough situations. Maybe that they would just see God's ability to do the impossible and find that as a source of confidence and comfort. Then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, we'll have some activity stations set up, some Legos, some marble runs, some crafts. They can kind of sit at one of those and just sit with them and hang out. Then the intro activity is called one-handed bracelets. So I don't have these with me to show you, but all the supplies are up at church. I forgot to bring them. So each kid is going to get a pipe cleaner and 10 Fruit Loops, and then they'll have a paper plate. And so each kid gets one pipe cleaner and a little pile of cereal on the plate, and you're going to set them around the small group area. So here's the challenge. Kids have to load 10 Fruit Loops onto their pipe cleaner and then shape it into a bracelet, but they can only use one hand. So for the part where kids have finished loading their Fruit Loops and they're shaping the bracelet, they can use their mouth in one hand because then they will already have their pieces of cereal that will just be on their pipe cleaner, and they can use their mouth to help them if they want. So you'll close up by saying, your bracelets look great even if they're a little wonky. And that kind of seemed impossible, didn't it? Well, we're going to head to large group and find out about an impossible task that someone else faced, but I don't think it had anything to do with pipe cleaners or Fruit Loops. And if the kids want, they can eat their Fruit Loops. They won't need them for anything else later. So then in large group, just make sure that you're sitting with your group, helping them to listen to the story, helping them to engage in worship. When you get back, you're going to do a review activity called That's Possible with God. So you're going to hand out one of these pages to every kid in your group. And then your leader guide says to let kids get in pairs or groups of 3. Depending on how many kids you have, you can just look up these scriptures together, or you have 3 Bibles in your cart. You can split kids into 3 different groups and have them look up these verses. So this is a good time to practice using their Bible. Have them go to the table of contents and find the book, and then just remind them that the first number is the big number in the Bible. That's the chapter. And the second numbers after the colon are the little numbers, and those are the verses. So then what they're going to do is they would look up Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And they would say, oh, what picture does that go with? Oh, that goes here. So they're going to match the verses up to the pictures that go along with them. So here is your little answer key for that. And then when they're done matching up, you're going to say, so when you're going to talk through how each impossible event was possible with God. So it was impossible for the earth to be created, yet God did it. It was impossible for the Red Sea to be parted, but God parted the Red Sea. For Jesus to be raised from the dead, but he was. For water to come out of a rock, to feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. For Lazarus to come back from the dead. So all those things were impossible, but with God they were possible. So that's basically what I just said there. So then for your memory verse activity, what you're going to have is you're going to have these little tents, and it says the memory verse on it, okay? So one kid at a time will stand in front of something, and what they're going to do is they'll stand in front of the tent. Sorry, I'm going to try. And they're going to try to blow the tent to the other side of the table without blowing it all the way off the table. And they're going to say the word. So I would say, here is, and then I would try to blow my tent to the other side of the table. Then the next kid would go and say something and blow their tent and try to get it to the other side without knocking off. Then the next kid would say, I am, and blow theirs, okay? So they're just going down the line, saying the memory verse. Depending on how many kids you have, some kids might have to close that by saying, so getting those word tents to the edge of the table without them falling off seemed pretty impossible, didn't it? Well, we've had a great month looking at some awesome reasons why we can have confidence in God. He is good, and we can believe that's true even when things don't seem good. Because God can do the impossible, we can live like we believe what God says is true. So then when you close in prayer, just ask kids to hold their activity pages from earlier and talk about how God is alive and still working in each of our lives today. And explain that while we might not see God part the waters of a big sea or send down fire from heaven, we can see God at work. And then give kids a few minutes to show some ways that they see God at work. So when babies are born, when the seasons change, that the ability to pray and have peace even when things are hard, we see God's love inside of us. He's given us people who love us, things like that, and then just close in prayer. So as adults come, encourage kids to say the bottom line, God can do the impossible, and to show them their activity page from the day. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for serving. I can't believe we're already to the end of June. I'm looking forward to VBS, looking forward to July. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday.